Here I am again, and we're going to be in week 5. We're going to be talking about the immune system, and I want to make a couple of comments before we get started here. First of all, I'm not so sure that your book has immune system in it. I think your textbook really talks about the lymphatic system, and under the lymphatic system includes parts of the immune system and the antigen antibody responses and so forth. Well, the immune system really is a part of a variety of systems. And so it's hard to separate it out and call it a system. So some people do and some people don't, but sometimes you will find either a video or in a chapter in a textbook that talks about the immune system. But the immune system is a part of many other body systems. It's not an organ system as such. The lymphatic system is important. So what we want to do is start out with giving you some resources, and we want you to be able to define immunity and to define infection. You should understand what an antibody or antigen antibody response is and know the different types. I mean, really, they're all the same, but they're different categories based on what really happens to you. So blood type reactions, inflammatory responses and wound healing, autoimmune diseases where your body attacks itself when it isn't supposed to, and these can be fatal diseases, and allergies, and anaphylactic response, which is an allergy that's allergic response. It's very serious. Okay, so I've got this attached in your unit, and then I've got a series of videos for you to watch. And actually, you could find other videos. You wouldn't have to watch these videos, but you could watch a variety of them. But there's one that I really want you to watch, and that's the video by Tammy Moore. This one. This is Tammy Moore's Lymphatic System 2, also called the immune system. The reason I think you should look at this video is because she is so very well organized. And you should actually look at it. It's 25 minutes long, and then outline it, because she talks about the first line of defense, the second line of defense, the third line of defense, and so forth, that your body can use or has to keep infections out and bad guys out. Okay? So outline that, look at it again, tweak your outline some more, and then do your reading. And I think your reading will be much easier to understand when you do that. And then you'll notice, I don't know if I have an owie. Where's my owie? There's one. Okay, I fell down and scraped myself the other day. Yeah, wait a minute, there it is. Fell down and scraped myself. And then I fell down another time. Okay, I'm accident prone. And that one's just about healed, okay? Wound healing is a part of, it starts out with an inflammatory response. You can get a little heated, you can get a little swelling at the spot, and a cascade of events occur, and eventually, over time, your wound will heal. So we have a video about that. We have a video about inflammatory response. Actually, an allergic reaction, an allergy, is an inflammatory response. That's general instead of specific, like on my little sore, my little owie. It's generally through a large volume or surface area of epithelial tissue. Your airways and lungs can be involved if it's something that's airborne. Your intestine can be involved if it's something that is a food allergy, or all of the above can be involved if it's a food allergy. And it's important to understand what to do about this if it happens to somebody you're with or to yourself. In this last YouTube video is a doctor explaining on television what an anaphylactic response is and how life-threatening it can be and how to take care of it if something happens. So that's one of the things. Now, also attached as a Word document to the resources that are in your content that I've put in there is this document, which basically are the definitions that you should know. You should be able to explain these to people. So immunity is the ability to ward off disease and infections. Why do I want you to know that? Well, because guess what? There are aspects of immunity that have nothing to do with antigen-antibody responses. For example, part of your immune system or your ability to keep things out, and Tammy Moore calls this the first line of defense, and so do others, is your skin and your sweat, which is slightly acid and contains some antibacterial compounds, your tears, which also contain lysozyme, the mucus in your throat and mouth and nose, which traps invaders and then puts them into the stomach where the acid kills them. That's all a part of your immune system. Also, vaginal secretions and urinary tract pH is important in eliminating bacteria that or virus that might come in, or yeast infections. And the way that you can improve that is to use cranberry juice or dried cranberries, because cranberries apparently contain a protein that keeps bacteria from being able to attach, and yeasts from being able to attach to the wall of your urethra. So when you urinate, you wash them out, get rid of them. I have to use a special feed and cranberry powder on my cat, one of my cats, because she is prone to those infections, but as long as she gets cranberries, she has no problem. And it really works. You can look it up. Okay. What's a disease? It's a disorder of the body that produces specific signs or symptoms. It's not always an infection. It could be cancer. It could be emphysema, asthma. It could be caused by toxins like snake bites or insect stings. These can also cause disease conditions. And, we make a serum from horse plasma, usually, or the plasma of an animal against snake bite, and use it sometimes if we have it available for people that have a serious snake bite. Because the toxin in a snake bite can kill a large portion of tissue, and of course it can be fatal too. But it can kill a large portion of tissue that would then be healed back as scar tissue, and not like, for example, if it was your muscle, you'd be losing part of your muscle. Okay, what's an infection? It's an invasion by a host, that's you or me, by a disease-causing agent. It could be a bacteria, a virus, a fungi, protozoans, or worms, and it could be cancer cells. Tammy Moore talks about cancer cells as being recognized by your body as an infection, and your immune system usually tries to kill the cancer cells in your body. Some physiologists claim that when you are under stress for a prolonged period of time, your immune system is suppressed, and that is when a lot of cancers break out. For example, with the death of a spouse or death of a child, something that really bothers you for a long period of time can have that effect. And I'm not sure if that's true, but there is evidence to suggest that it is, and it does make sense. And then finally, what is acquired immunity? Well, when you get sick, like the chicken pox, and Tammy Moore talks about this, your immune system is, not your immune system, but anyway, your blood cells communicate with each other, and your T blood cells, your T helper cell, tells your other white cells to please make antibodies, and your B cells make antibodies against that invader. And then some of those B cells become memory cells and remember that for a long, long time. So if you've gotten a disease and you've recovered from it, like I had scarlet fever once, for example, chicken pox, measles, I have an immunity to those because I had the diseases, not because I had any vaccination. And artificially acquired immunity is a vaccination. And this basically is a modified virus It could be dead. It could be attenuated, like it could be heat treated, like the flu virus is when you're vaccinated against it. And those things are injected or you're exposed to them one way or another. The polio vaccine, when I was a child, we took it orally. And then that stimulates your body to produce antibodies against the virus without you having to ever be sick with that disease. And we don't have that available for everything. And if you have been paying attention to the Ebola outbreak, we didn't have a vaccine against Ebola, and they've rushed to create one. Why didn't we have one? Because there wasn't a big profit in it for the chemical or for the drug companies, and because governments don't usually manufacture vaccines. They depend upon drug companies to do it. Well, maybe this was a wake-up call. Maybe we need to be looking at diseases that are important, and we need to be making vaccines against them for those diseases that could become serious problems but are not profitable to the drug companies. And then one day I was at the doctor, and my doctor said, "Do you when's the last time you had a tetanus booster?" And I said, "I don't know, it's been over 10 years ago." And he said, "Well, we have 3 of them here, but you can't have one because you don't have a problem. We have to save them for emergencies. There's a shortage of supply." And then the next time I went back, he had them, so I got my booster shot. Okay, so those are some important big ideas that we need to talk about when we go through this outline that I'm going to put in a second video so that we don't have to have a break at a funny spot. Okay, so we'll be back at you in a minute with a second video.